वैराग्य विद्या निज भक्ति योगा शिक्षार्थमेक पुरुष पुराना श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य शरीर धारी कृपाम्बुदीर्य तमहं प्रपद्ये मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारणम् वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. So, warm welcome everyone. We continue our study of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So, yesterday we read mm, chapter 8, text 3. We couldn't manage to discuss much, so maybe we'll read the just translation and try to discuss a bit and then move on to text 4, 5, and see. And text 5 to 8, I find 5 to 8, I find a very good like this four verses, four shlokas, a very good series, and the way it's set out and all, it's very amazing. And I always feel a bit, scared or because like honestly, my knowledge and understanding is on the surface of Bhagavad Gita, and the practice is very poor. It's very much in theory, not in practical application. But yet, I would at least admit that I have a good or don't know, but have good admiration, appreciation, love for Bhagavad Gita, the overall practice of Krishna consciousness, and it is all the blessings of devotees. The devotees, Krishna blessed me with such good devotee friends and all, so which is helping me to continue in the practice of Krishna consciousness, and hopefully one day I can become a devotee. So with this, again, prayer with this aspiration aim, we continue our study of Bhagavad Gita. So, chapter 8 and text 3, we can just read translation for today. I mean, we read the purport yesterday. So, Shri Bhagwan Uvacha Aksharam Brahma Paramam Svabhavo Dhyatma Uchate Bhuta Bhavod Bhava Karo Visarga Karma Samgite Samgita. Okay, Diksha, read translation.
Ji bhaiya. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, the indestructible, transcendental living entity is called Brahman, and his eternal nature is called Adhyatma, the self. Action pertaining to be the development of the material bodies of the living entities is called karma or fruitive activities.
Hmm. So, following Arjuna's question, okay, screen can be removed. So, following Arjuna's question, na? So Krishna is responding like Arjuna asked, "Who is the self?" In life, we rarely ask like, "Who is the self? Who am I?" Very much, we are very much set, very mechanical or robotic, and our identity keeps on changing, which is understandable because it is a changing world. This world is a changing world, as you know, as they say, that the only constant in this world is what? Change. Change is the only thing which is fixed in this world. Is it not? This world is fixed to change, isn't it? Change is the only thing which in this world is fixed. Yes, this world is destined to change. Everything is changing with the passage of time. But yet, uh, this devotional practice is changeless. It's pure. The holy name, the chanting, the overall practice of Krishna consciousness is ageless, is timeless, is pure, and Krishna is definitely pure. ageless, timeless, and we also living entities in our pure spirit, we are also pure. We are also changeless or timeless. And just like we all have this spirit of being ever happy, we all have the spirit of wanting to be always in knowledge, to be always secured. This thing never changes amongst any of us. None of us would, any in a sane mind, in a sane place, we would never want to, in a normal rational thinking, we would never want to encounter any uh, trouble in life, any loss. We would never want to be in a sad situation. No, we always are after happiness. And those who commit very sadly, it's a very, very sad thing to hear if someone commits suicide. So those who commit suicide as well, they commit suicide what? Seeking peace only. That okay, maybe they find shelter, peace in giving up their body. So we all are after peace, happiness, knowledge, security, because that is the nature of the soul. That is the nature of the living entity. And Krishna responds, Brahman is what? Brahman meaning spirit, spiritual. So the indestructible, transcendental living entity. In nature, we are transcendental. Bhakti is anyways transcendental. Transcendental meaning completely pure. Something very, very divine altogether. And Krishna is definitely completely pure. Then that's the living entity. Brahman is in spirit, and Krishna is Parabrahman, the source of Brahman, the source of us. And our eternal nature is called, that is that is spiritual practice, right? To understand who am I, what is my nature. If we understand who am I, what is my nature, what is my role, then only I will be able to act properly. Like we say, right? Suppose there is uh, a car accident happens, say, huh? And the person is injured, the person is hurt, but I cannot do much help because I'm not a trained physician, doctor. No, I cannot do. I, all the best I can do is maybe call an ambulance or somehow assist, help that person go to hospital. Then there are doctor and nurses who can look after the person. They are trained. So likewise, I need to know what is my identity, who am I, and only then I can act very nicely. But without knowing who am I, living in lost identity, then there is going to be ups and downs in life. And because uh, we are spirit soul, but because we are engaged or living in this material body, so we have to perform action, and any action we do is called karma. That is karma. Okay, let's see next, and then check a bit more. So we read text 4. अधिभूतं शरो भाव पुरुषश्चादि चादिदेवतम् अभियज्ञो अहम् एवात्र देहदेहभृतं वरा. So Harsha read translation and purport.
O best of the embodied beings, the physical nature, which is constantly changing, is called Adibhuta, the material manifestation. The universal form of the Lord, which includes all the demigods, like those of the sun and moon, is called Adhideva. And I, the Supreme Lord, represented as the super soul in the heart of every embodied being, am called Adi Yagya, the Lord of Sacrifice. purport. The physical nature is constantly changing. The physical nature is constantly changing. Material bodies generally pass through 6 stages. They are born, they grow, they remain for some duration, they produce some byproducts, they dwindle, and then they vanish. This physical nature is called Adhibhuta. It is created at a certain point and will be annihilated at a certain point. The conception of the universal form of the Supreme Lord, which includes all the demigods and their different planets, is called Adhidevata. And present in the body, along with the individual soul, is the super soul, a plenary representation of Lord Krishna. The super soul is called the Paramatma or Adiyagya and is situated in the heart. The word Eva is particularly important in the context of this verse because by this word, the Lord stresses that the Paramatma is not different from him. The super soul, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, seated beside the individual soul, is the witness of the individual soul's activities and is the source of the soul's various types of consciousness. The super soul gives the individual soul an opportunity to act freely and witness his activities. The super soul gives the individual soul an opportunity to act freely and witnesses his activities. The functions of all those different manifestations of the Supreme Lord automatically become clarified for the pure Krishna conscious devotee engaged in transcendental service to the Lord. The gigantic universal form of the Lord called Adhidevata is contemplated by the neophyte who cannot approach the Supreme Lord in his manifestation as Super Soul. The neophyte is advised to contemplate the universal form or Virat Purusha, whose legs are considered the lower planets, whose eyes are considered the sun and moon, and whose head is considered the upper planetary system. O best of the embodied beings, the physical nature, which is constantly changing, is called Adhibhuta, the material manifestation. The universal form of the Lord, which includes all the demigods, like those of the sun and moon, is called Adideva, and I, the Supreme Lord, represented as the super soul in the heart of every embodied being, am called Adiyagya, the Lord of sacrifice.
So, a same question like, is there anything in this world which we can say, which we know, which we can claim is not changing? Hasn't got a transformation as such, or is permanent? What is permanent in this world? This is a physical world of cause and effect. Our bodies, they change, na? They are changing continuously. It's no more the same. Thoughts also change, desires change. We live in a very much relative world. Relative as in relation to. So our happiness is very much in the relative sense. It's very impacted by seeing the happiness and sorrow of others, and by seeing how others are in the society placed, rank each other, and we see, okay, I fall in say maybe 15th rank, then I feel yes, I'm somewhat better off in a total of 500. We cannot live without comparison or this relative sense. Our mind functions like this. But Krishna consciousness is where like it helps us to understand our unique position. It frees us from any understanding of any scarcity in life. One reason why we get so worried or fearful is because we see things in scarce, that okay, it's limited. Okay, it's limited. When things are in limited, then will I be able to get it or not? What will happen to me? So that leads us to some fear. But if we see the spirit, for spirit there is nothing scarcity, there is abundance. For matter, it is always changing. Spirit, it is fixed. Spirit is, see, matter changes and changes for not for good. Matter changes to break only. Spirit changes in the sense spirit evolves, grows, and for attaining higher joy. है. And in our heart of our hearts, every one of us, we want to attain higher joy. We want to be ever happy, which is a great thing. It's an inborn thing in us because it is the nature of the soul, because we are part and parcel of Krishna. Krishna is ever happy. We are his part and parcel. We also aspire to be ever happy. And in this world, it's just the process of happiness has to be understood. See, practicing Krishna consciousness or understanding Krishna consciousness, it's like uh, no extra intelligence is required. The amount of intelligence or even faith what we require in our school, college, university studies and work is the same amount of, say, intelligence or faith is required. And it's a practical engagement, as in like devotees also eat, and those who are not practicing they also eat. So it's not like becoming a devotee, we don't, a devotee doesn't eat, no. But then he's a bit careful and watchful of his eating habit, and he knows how eating is so essential, so helpful in spiritual practice, so important in spiritual progress. Eating is very, very core, very, very fundamental. In Vedic science, what they say, what we eat influences our thought process. They say in Hindi, right? Jaisa an, vaisa man. So what we eat influences, impacts, affects our thought process. And then what we think is what we act. We'll act like the way we think. So we act accordingly. And then we see the effect, impact accordingly like this. So eating is very important, what we eat. Uh, then devotees also eat, and those who are not practicing they also eat, but the devotees are much more watchful. Then devotees also listen to music. It's not that don't listen, rather they play music, kirtan. So using harmonium, ridanga, cymbals, kartal, they play kirtan, very nice kirtan, and they listen to kirtan as well. But their playing of music and their listening of music is very different. What music they play, what they listen, and also the whole thing is the approach, the mood, what they listen, why they listen. That's quite different. The objective. Essentially, what devotees do is for sense purification, and in sense purification, we find a lot of sense enjoyment, real happiness. Uh, And in societal settings, there's not much emphasis on purity. And that is why then we get baffled. So devotees also listen to music, devotees also work, do jobs and look after community, society. They also have family, everything. So it's just the mood, what they do with what mood, that's the different. And that is to be understood. Life gives us an option, so much opportunity. So if we want to a bit go further, we can see and experience the difference in ourselves. And as it says in purport, that Krishna, he facilitates and uh, an opportunity for each and every living entity to live a bit freely, to fulfill his desires. Not Krishna never kills desires. He never kills thought because it is not the activity of this or the sign or symptom of way or working of a very like what to speak of advanced like of Krishna, right? Because he never sees anything in lacking. There is nothing missing or lacking. Krishna is all capable, all powerful, so he can facilitate. So, and he loves. This is the sign of love. When you love someone, you care for someone. And when you care for someone, you understand someone. You try to understand that person. You make room, you make facility to listen to that person. That's love. Listening is love when we listen to the other person, when we show interest in the other persons, no? When we are attentive to the details, that is love. When we care, when we show concern, and when we make arrangements. So Krishna loves us, so he makes arrangements for the living entity to okay satisfy his desires, but alongside he gives us clues. People get right, those who are practicing, not practicing as well. Oh, the universe is sending me some message, or this is my gut feeling, I have this inspiration. My heart says this, mm, that ways. And as we always say, it is one who has a friend in life is very blessed. We all need someone to look up to, and how to say in English, to look up to and to fall on to as well. Say Krishna, Arjuna found Krishna to look up to and fall on to, and likewise, we all of us need support in the sense. Yes, we do need support, someone to look up to and someone to fall on to, and who that someone could be, someone who is actually genuine, someone who is genuine, who is pure, someone who doesn't have got an ulterior motive, a hidden agenda, mm, something to, someone who is not here to exploit or use me, someone who is genuinely a genuine person, say, and someone who is wise and meaning intelligent, meaning someone who is who understands the difference between matter and spirit. So someone who practices Krishna consciousness. Uh, Otherwise, is there lack of friends on Facebook? We may have so many friends and other places online, so many friends, right? But this is the thing. Who can we trust? Uh, Fun is one thing in friendship. We can have many friends and have fun with them, even family members. But can I really trust someone? Trust. Krishna wants our trust. So, someone who we can trust actually. And this is why it's a relationship which takes time in building. Trust cannot be built overnight, just like that, no? And so in devotee association as well, when we live, that the trust is certainly there to begin with, yes, because Krishna is at the center, and that over a period of time, the trust becomes so strong. The bond is there, which becomes strong and strong. So yeah, in love there is room. In love there is room for mistake, isn't it? See, Krishna allows us to commit mistake because he loves us. Yeah? Krishna allows us to commit mistake. So it's not like in love there is not rigidness. In love there is scope for committing mistake. And when we express our love to Krishna, when we live in a loving relationship with Krishna, with his devotees, then Krishna personally gets involved uh, to train us, to train us. How can we become then like mistake free altogether? And by mistake free, meaning it's not like we won't make any mistake in some mathematical calculation, or we won't make any mistake in judging the time, or reaching to a place, or some calculations. No, that like in some grammatical error. No, that mistake can still be there. But mistake as in mistake in one's approach in life, mistake in one's consciousness, huh? mistake in one's understanding of life. No, that mistake no won't be there when we take shelter of Krishna and Krishna's devotees. Again, practicing Krishna consciousness is not by force or not by some sort of bribery or by inculcating some sort of fear in someone. It is a loving practice. See, um, there's one devotee. He became a devotee in 80s or 70s. Started practicing Krishna consciousness somewhere in England, and his father his father saw on television in England television uh, Hare Krishna chanting, and he saw like Rath Yatra procession, chariot festival procession, and devotees singing, dancing, and distributing food. So it was shown on the television, and so this devotee he asked or maybe didn't ask, but his father saw that clip on television, and straight away his father said, "No, this is a happy religion. These are the happy people. This is a happy religion, the happy people." And yeah, there's so much of singing, chanting. Where there's singing, chanting, it is a joy of the heart, is it not? Singing, chanting, dancing, feasting, so much of nice food devotees eat. It is all the joy of the heart. And Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma, in his experience, he shares the practice of Krishna consciousness is like every step is a dance, every word is a song, huh? Every move is like every day is a festival. Actually, every day is a festival. Every step is a dance, every word is a song, and every drink says like nectar, complete nectar, pure immortality. But our experiences in life, generally speaking, they are not so healthy experiences, and this is why we do not put easily much faith in thinking high, thinking something. Okay, there must be some higher joy. Is there some higher joy? Then we want to take a step back, and we want to become more silent, more motionless, so that okay, fine. Let me be more silent, more motionless. I will find my peace that way. But we won't be satisfied in that as well until and unless we find our resolve in a loving relationship. We will never be satisfied. And loving relationship doesn't mean like love on the material platform. Love on the material platform is love on the bodily platform, and that is not more of love, that is more of lust, that is more of fulfillment of my own senses. Perhaps there is some element of mutual service as well, something, but it is largely driven by filling up my senses. uh, But love on the spiritual platform means to serve, which is not on bodily identity, bodily designation. No. So love is something by default is pure, which means it is above race, above nationality, above community, above language, above income status, education status, all this, and certainly above uh, bodily identity, any lust oriented activities here. And this Krishna consciousness, reading Bhagavad Gita, discussing it with devotees, we can see it's like a balm. It's a very soothing balm being rubbed in our chest, gives us so much of peace. So this is like some setting of the ground and saying, okay, physical nature is constantly changing. Who am I? What is this world about? Hmm? In order to uh, living in this world, it is very important to know what this world is about, right? And it is very important to know who am I, what am I about. Then we can participate, function nicely. So let's see next, and maybe hopefully we can discuss further and take on any questions or comments, please. अंतकाले च मामेव स्मरन्मुक्त्वा कलेवरम् यः प्रयाति समद्भावं याति नास्ति यत्र संशय. Okay, Leah, Would you be okay reading translation and purport? And I have, do I have a question? So yeah, how would you? Okay, I asked this question. Huh? How would you define end? How would you define end? Just think of it, and Leah, if you are comfortable, read translation and purport, and then we can try to discuss a bit more. What does end mean? How would we define end? Huh?
Okay. Translation. And whoever at the end of his life quits his body, remembering me alone, at once attains my nature. Of this there is no doubt. Purpose. In this verse, the importance of Krishna consciousness is stressed. Anyone who quits his body in Krishna consciousness is at once transferred to the transcendental nature of the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord is the purest of the pure. Therefore, anyone who is constantly Krishna conscious is also the purest of the pure. The word smaran, remembering, is importance. Remembrance of Krishna is not possible for the impure soul who has no practice Krishna consciousness in devotional service. Therefore, one should practice Krishna consciousness from the very beginning of life if one wants to achieve success at the end of his life. The process of remembering Krishna is essential. Therefore, one should instantly chant Mara mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Lord Katayana has advised that one be as tolerant as a tree, Taro api sashma. There is many be so many impediments for a person who is chanting Hare Krishna. Nonetheless, tolerating all these impediments, one should continue to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, and that at the end of one's life, one can have the full benefit of Krishna consciousness.
Read translation again, please.
And whoever at the end of his life quits his body, remembering me alone, at once attain my nature. Of this there is no doubt.
Hmm. Now, see, in our study of Bhagavad Gita, there are not many places where the word doubt or the subject matter of doubt is brought about. And one thing I will speak on doubt. Okay, what's the best way to come out of doubt? I tell you, what's the best way to come out of doubt? Hmm? When in doubt, uh, the best way to come out. Okay, Diksha, were you saying something?
Oh, yeah, I was saying that just simply ask your doubt.
Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah. That is also, yeah. Ask your doubt, but then who do we ask is another thing. But yes, we should ask our doubt. We should reveal our mind definitely, but we cannot reveal our mind to each and everyone. Yeah? So the best way, devotees are so amazing and really. So what devotees say, the best way to come out of doubt is they say, when in doubt, take your bead bag out, yeah, and chant Hare Krishna. When in doubt, take the bead bag out and chant Hare Krishna. Then all the doubt will be subdued. Hmm? All the doubt will be settled. So in our study of Bhagavad Gita, we wouldn't find many places where doubt is being brought about. Very few. And any place, any verse text, and it's mostly, if I think or say or remember, say, it is Krishna who is saying there is no doubt, there is no doubt. Initially, Arjuna was in doubt. Initially. And now Krishna is saying there is no doubt, there is no doubt. And whenever, say, any translation we see now, where Krishna is saying where the doubt word is there, it is a very important translation. It is a very important message. Like chapter 7, the first one, Krishna says, Asamsayam samagram mam yatha jnanashi tachrinu. Na? Asamsayam, without doubt. Harsha, you can bring the translation 1, 7th chapter, text 1. Maya asakta mana partha, Krishna says, become attached to me in full consciousness, in full yoga. uh, and listen from me. And by listening, you will be free from all doubt. So wherever doubt is brought about in Bhagavad Gita, again, not many verses, but wherever we'll find doubt, it would come out as a very important verse, and certainly it will get our attention. It should attract our attention. So uh, now Krishna is saying, and whoever at the end of his life, whoever at the end of his life quits his body, remembering me alone at once, attains my nature. And of this there is no doubt. So, uh, again, how do we define that end? Any thoughts? Yes, Harsha, bring 7.1. Nice. So, Leah, can you read just the translation, please?
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Now hear, O son of God, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt."
So, such a lucid, how beautiful Krishna is saying, right? That hearing is a great quality. Uh, I mean, we should become good listeners. You know, a devotee once told me amazing things I've heard from devotee. He once told me, who can be a good speaker? One who is a good listener. Only he can be a good speaker, one who is a good listener. By listener meaning one who is a good follower, one who is attentive. By listening meaning one who has developed interest, one who has developed desire, or by listening that interest and desire will be developed, developed. And through that interest, desire, followership, blessings will come about. So it's not an external process. Like in society, so many people, they pretend to be working, isn't it? Pretending to be good at job, pretending to be busy at work, or pretending to be good in family affairs. Huh? We live in a pretending society, as in makeup society. No, pretending face, pretending to be happy or pretending to be sad and all. But uh, Krishna consciousness, it's an internal change. So it's not like to be pretending, to be genuine. We do not want to live like a pretender, rather a genuine. Someone who is a genuine failure, Krishna will appreciate way more than someone who is pretending to be good. Someone who is genuine a failure. Like in one of the purports, Prabhupada writes, uh, okay, Diksha, Harsha, bring that also on screen. I think it's chapter 3, text 6. Just see in purport. One sentence Prabhupada writes, so beautiful. So this is why Krishna consciousness practice is a practice of, it's a subjective practice. It is a practice of the heart. uh, it is a not something out of force. And the the message, the overall practice is so beautiful, so sublime. One would love to practice it. So, anyways, what we're saying is, hmm, doubt. Or Krishna is saying like here, listening. So, one who is a good listener, interest will develop, and then he will become a good follower as well. And that is the way. So, scroll down on the purport. Prabhupada writes one sentence in the purport. Okay, next. Go to next. Scroll down purport. Yeah. Leah, read the last sentence in the purport.
A sincere sweeper in the street is far better than the charlatan mediator who meditates only for the sake of making a living. Hmm.
Isn't it? This is what Krishna desires, wants from us. And this is what uh, philosophy has to be put into practice. And this is the aspiration. A sincere sweeper in the street. Generally, anywhere, it's not very looked okay, wow, he's doing something great. No. A sincere, since someone who is a sincere failure, but who is a sincere failure, a sincere, say, sweeper in the street, a sincere whatever, is far better than the charlatan meditator. Charlatan as in show bottle, who is not genuine, who is not real, but who is pretending, who pretends to be real and all, huh? And only for the sake of making a living. No, so this Krishna conscious practice is not like a easy escape or fine to escape from the realities of life, or it's not like an idle lazy lifestyle. No, anyone can vouch and see. Devotees wake up what normally those who are living in temples, in house as well, there are many devotees wake up around half 3:30 a.m. And full day they are engaged. So it's not like they are just lazy and doing nothing. This is the teaching. A sincere sweeper in the street is far better, and we all can resonate with this, right? Our hearts can resonate with this. See, we do not, when it comes to others, suppose you are manager of someone, you would like your subordinate to work sincerely. Being parent, you would like your children to be sincere and all, right? So when it comes to other, we like everyone to be sincere. And Krishna consciousness teaches like to first take I have to change. First, I have to change. Arjuna realized this, that I have to change. So this practice will invoke sincerity. I always say there's three stages, right? One stage is the stage of information. Another stage is stage of knowledge. And another stage is stage of wisdom, which is the most desirable stage, which is the say best, if I can say, which is the best stage. Stage of information, stage of knowledge, having information, having knowledge, or having wisdom. Huh? Which is best?
Having wisdom?
Yes, certainly, na wisdom. Just information is no good. What will information help? This world runs, honestly, this world runs on information only. Information. Even big jobs, big things. But what on information? Information in the sense one doesn't know who he is, body or soul. So everything in information. Uh, so much so information I can do such good programming, I can create robots who can do surgery. Heart surgery, robots will do. Doctor will be sitting somewhere. Patient is in the operation theater, and doctor is working from his home doing heart surgery using robots and machines and other technology, and there would be other assistants in the operation theater and doing heart surgery and all. So this is good, good, okay, good use of science, good use of matter. But if we do not understand who we are and all, it's more information level only, and it is feeding that information amongst others as well. So Krishna wants us to raise our standard. We also want to raise our standard. Go, information can never give us real happiness and peace. So go beyond information, knowledge. Hmm? Knowledge is what? To understand that I am not in knowledge is in real knowledge. At information stage, one will consider himself to be very knowledgeable. I'm very knowledgeable. I'm capable. I'm smart. I can do it. I know it. Confidence and all. This is at information stage. At knowledge stage, one understands that how less I know, how little I know, and how little can I know. And wisdom state is what? Wherein he works genuinely. The, saying that I do not know, I know that I do not know. It's not. Now Krishna wants us to really know with humility. We discussed few days back, right? Knowledge should bring humility, not pride, not pride, no, humility. Knowledge should reform our character, bring a good character amongst us. Knowledge should make us fall in love with Krishna, admire the beauty of Krishna, admire the heart of Krishna. Knowledge should make us serve Krishna, be of use to the society, be of use to the people, be of use to nature, be of use to Krishna. And ultimately, knowledge is to be given up. In the sense, I cannot afford thinking, oh, how knowledgeable have I become. No, no. So one has to give up knowledge, and one can fall in love with Krishna only when one has given up knowledge. Then Krishna will reveal further more of himself to us. Okay, so coming on this end, any thoughts on end? What does end mean? Asha, you may share once again chapter 8, text 5, what we were just reading. Huh? Huh. And whoever at the end of his life quits his body remembering me alone, at once attains my nature. Of this there is no doubt. Why is the need to say of doubt? Because we are doubtful. Oh, is it really true? Is it really? Will it? No, we don't carry that faith. And Krishna is assuring that don't worry, there is no doubt of it. And end means what? Uh, And we are living in a end situation only, in the sense, currently in Europe, hmm, in some place it is 3 past 6 p.m. In another place in Europe it is 3 past 7 p.m. In India it is 33 past 10 p.m. 10:33 p.m. right? And some place in Europe it is 7 mm, 3 past 7 p.m. In some place in Europe it is um, 3 past 8 p.m. And now it is what like 4 past. So what I mean to say is, how do we define this end? Uh, Time is eternal. Time is eternal. So soul is eternal. Journey is eternal. It is an ongoing journey. ever going, ever growing journey. Journey is ever going, but are we growing in the journey or not? है ना? So this journey, okay, screen हटा सकते हो. This journey of Krishna consciousness is ever going, and if we are actually traveling in this journey, we will find ourselves ever growing as well. So by end meaning, actually, living entity, a soul, a practitioner would realize that no, there's not like and everything gone. No, everything is in the past, going now. Every second gone, gone, gone. So the message is to protect our present moment. If we protect our present moment, then there is no end. This is the thing. If we protect now, then there is no end. But if we do not, if we are not aware, if we are not conscious, if we are not living in the now, the present, the Zen moment, as they say, the Zen, if we are not here, right now, in consciousness, in our focus, in our love, admiration, remembrance of Krishna, if we have not developed that, if we do not think ourselves as we belong to Krishna, we belong to Krishna. And if we do not have not realized this in our consciousness, then we are living in a dreaming state. Then we are living in past, present, and future. See, this past, present, and future is for a conditioned soul like us only. For Krishna, there is no past, there is no present, there is no future. No. Past, present, and future is for us because our mind works like this only. Because we live in a relative society. Huh? So relative meaning someone is rich, someone is poor. That's relative. Now, how much rich, how much poor depends how much poor is one person in comparison to others. That's relative then. Uh, We live in a relative society. So, where there is duality, where there is relativeness, there is bound to be this past, present, and future. But again, check. We can just simply check in our heart of our hearts. Every moment we want to be happy. Every moment we want to be ever happy, ever growing happiness. We want to be ever beautiful. We want to be ever in knowledge, ever secured, ever smiling, ever peaceful. Even if we cry, it has to be a cry of joy. So that would come about in order to live an endless life. है ना? Endless life, endless, a life of endless joy, a life of endless hope, a life of endless strength, a life of endless knowledge, security. Just protect our present moment, now what we have. And this is why it says in purport, how can we protect our present moment? Through practice. Practice is important. No? We just without just practice, we cannot protect our present moment. No. Shall I share one story? And this could be a real life story, and we'll take questions as well and any thoughts or comments. So there was this gentleman in India, living with his family. So he had four sons. He had four sons, and he was living with his family. And he got to know of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna consciousness, this message, this promise, these text, whatever Krishna is saying. It's like a promise. It's more than promise actually. It's a bond. It's a deed. It's a promise. Promise, no? It's a heartfelt promise of Krishna. It's an offering. In many a ways, it is a request. In many a ways, it is an appeal. It is a proposition. So that gentleman in India came across this promise, this bond, this commitment. Yeah, commitment from Krishna. That what? That at the end of life, whosoever at the end of his life, at his final breath, if he remembers me, if he thinks of me, if he calls out my name, he will attain my abode. He will attain my home. He will live with me for eternity in full joy. So this gentle Indian man, uh, perhaps a bit too intelligent, what did he do? He had four children. 4 boys. And he named them what? He named them Gopal, one name for Krishna, Govind, another name of Krishna, Madhusudan, another name of Krishna, and say Madhava, another name of Krishna. And naturally, like calling out son's names, so he's calling out Krishna's names or transcendental names in that way. And like that, he raised his children, and they all had, he said, business for all of them, family business. They all were doing their shops and running the shops and factory. So this gentleman, he was in his old age now, about to leave his body. He was not in good health, about to leave his body, and his sons and family members also knew this. So as he was about to leave his body, he his daughter-in-law, those son's wives, they were in the house. His wife was also in the house. So he said, uh, "Where is Gopal?" So the wives, the daughter-in-law, his gentleman's wife, they rang all the 4 sons that leave, come home now. Father is about to leave his body. He's not looking in a good condition. Come home now. So all the 4 sons, they came home. So the man asked, "Where is Gopal?" So son says, "Dad, I am here. Father, I am here." Huh? And where is Govind? I'm here next to you, right close to you. Where is Madhusudan? I'm here at your feet. Where's Madhava? I'm here right beside you. And what does this man say? Uh, Then he says, "Oh, all 4 of you are here. Then who is looking after the shop? Who is making money? If customers are coming, who will be dealing with the customers? And who will be taking count of cash? You have left the shop just like that. If the staff runs away with money," and like this saying, with that emotion, sentiment, and all, he left his body. He left his body. So the thing is, certainly, it's good to give children names, Vedic names, and all, so that that remembrance is there. Yes, calling Gopal, Govind, and all that identity. That some God connection, Krishna connection is there, Krishna consciousness. But lifestyle has to be changed. Life has to be changed. Otherwise, it's not like throughout the life we may do something. It's and just like at the fag end of our life, we cannot expect ourselves to be chanting. No? We cannot have that mood. See, the mood is the important thing. Mood is such an important in today's world. Wow, it's such a moody world, right? Our mood swings, they say, right? So much up and down in mood, heavy. So in order to experience always a heavy, jolly mood, chant Hare Krishna. Na? So that lifestyle changes and that mood. So this man, he was calling his son's name, but the mood was not there that I'm calling out to my sons or I'm calling out to Krishna or Krishna's remembrance didn't come about as such. Where his focus was, oh, where is money? Where is the shop? Where is property? So ultimately towards matter only, right? Towards matter only. And Krishna Prabhupada doesn't want us to be like that. No. Hope is from whom? Humans only. Hope is from us. Hope is from us only. And the process is sublime. So if we chant sincerely, if we listen sincerely, we'll fall in love with Krishna. And then we chant lovingly. We chant even more lovingly. And when we chant lovingly, we call out the name of Krishna lovingly. Krishna won't be any far away. Won't be any far away. But if we try to act any smart, hmm, thinking, okay, throughout the life, I don't want to do this. When I become like a grandmother, when I become like a granddad, then maybe I can start going to church. Right now, it's not needed. Right now, you know, right now, Monday to Saturday, I can commit all sort of sins. I can go drinking alcohol and insulting someone, picking a fight in the street with someone. I can go gambling. I can go lying, cheating. I can do throughout the week. I can do nasty things, hurtful things, and Sunday I can go and pray and I can ask for. I can become forgiven and like that, and then like this and same. So if we try to act any smart and if we try to play with some message and instructions thinking, okay, this is for my benefit, I can mold it, use it the way I like. No, no. Nature will react. Nature works the way nature is, right? And again, the practice is so sublime. When we start chanting, we start falling in love with Krishna. When we start reading, we fall in love with Krishna. Love is at the center throughout. No, when we start spending time with devotees, we start building a relationship. So that ways, and this is Krishna's promise, heartfelt promise, that at the end of life, and also, yeah, someone at the end of his life, if he leaves his body remembering Krishna, what will he attain? That same nature. Now, uh, uh, I mean, time is always less. Again, bring up the screen, the translation. Yeah. Whoever at the end of his life quits his body, remembering me alone, will at once attain my nature. Of this there is no doubt. Arjuna, something like this Krishna says, right? Um, uh, अंतकाले च मामेव स्मरन मुक्त्वा कलेवरम यह प्रयाति some mad bhavam bhav है ना mad bhavam मेरा भाव. So he will attain my nature. And what is Krishna's nature? Krishna's nature is Satchidananda, na? Satchidananda, full of joy, eternity, and knowledge and bliss. And this is what, when we are in Krishna consciousness, we will experience bliss in life, we will experience joy in life. When we are in the practice of Krishna consciousness, we will be knowledgeable. Again, knowledge doesn't necessarily mean, oh, if you are so knowledgeable, can you tell me what is the formula for the circle, area of a circle? Can you tell me this equation? Can you tell me this medicine? Can you tell me that what is the currency of that country? You are knowledgeable. No, knowledge doesn't mean that thing. Knowledge doesn't mean that how much politically one is aware, how much sports wise and all. Knowledge means one who understands the difference between body and spirit. What is life? Hmm? What is who we are? Whose we are? What are we meant for? So Krishna's nature is what? Full of joy, love, knowledge, eternity. And when we practice Krishna consciousness, we are developing that knowledge. Body, see, ultimately matter, it is to be dissolved, but the spirit has to be protected. And that spiritual realization, that spiritual engagement, that spiritual body, that spiritual bliss, we will encounter. Of this, there is no doubt. No doubt. So, end is what? Protect our. If we protect our present moment, then there is no end, because we are always in the present. This is why it is a continuous process. Constantly chanting Krishna, constantly thinking Krishna, constantly remembering Krishna. The difficult bit is this constant only. eh? It's okay to chant for 1 hour, it's okay to chant for 2 hours, maybe 3 and 4 hours as well. But constantly thinking, and this is why practice is needed. See, it is not, eh, we cannot say that it's unrealistic. We cannot say, because say, when we are in fear or worry, do we not constantly fear? Do we not constantly worry? What will happen? What will happen? What will happen? Constantly we fear, we constantly worry, because we are living in a low energy. We are carrying very low energy. And when we increase our consciousness level, we elevate our consciousness, we elevate, carry high energy, then we will be always happy, always positive, always. Krishna consciousness teaches to look on the bright side of life and also on the bright side of death. huh? Both on the bright side of life and on the bright side of death. Then there will be end to miseries and no end to happiness once we protect the present. And past is past. Past is to be given up. Just work now. When we work now, this is how we train, right? In order to become a lawyer, engineer, businessman, sailor. Practice and detachment. And when practice, be focused there, be focused. Then there's no end to career, there's no end to say money or that sense. Likewise, when we protect our present time, which will come with practice. Okay, some rough scattered thoughts there, but kindly tolerate any questions or any comments or any clarification or any suggestion or any addition. It's too late to subtract now. Or any multiplication. Division is not so good, so we leave that division. Okay, should we see next or okay, then let's check next. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajanti ante kalevaram tam tamevati kaunteya sada tad bhav bhavita. हर्षा स्क्रीन को ऐसे लाओ. चैप्टर 8 ट्रांसलेशन. We read these four translation together now, like one after the other. 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we try to read the purpose and discuss. But let's read just the translation for now so that we can see a good thread or overall the message. So go 5 say, huh? So Harsha, you read 5. Hmm? Then uh, Diksha, you read 6. Leah, you read 7. And Harsha, you read 8. Just translation.
And whoever at the end of his life quits his body, remembering me alone at once, attains my nature. Of this, there is no doubt.
Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, O son of Kunti, that state he will attain without fail.
Therefore, Arjuna, you should always think of me in form of Krishna and at the same time carry out your prescribed duty of fighting. With your activities dedicated to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me, you will attain me without doubt.
Harsha, read.
He who meditates on me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his mind constantly engaged in remembering me, undeviated from the path, he, O Partha, is sure to reach me.
See, so doubt, na? Again, Krishna is saying, you will attain me without doubt. And just now, text 8 again, if I see, he who meditates on me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his mind constantly engaged in remembering me. So currently, look, we are conditioned in our conditioned state. We are not like, I wouldn't consider myself to be a devotee. I'm trying to become a devotee. I'm trying, and it's worth the effort, but I have not become a devotee yet. So, thing is, his mind constantly engaged in remembering Krishna. So, my mind, okay, there is remembrance of Krishna, but thing is constantly. So, the challenge, the task, the difficulty is in constantly. Prabhupada said the Krishna consciousness is simple, but the application is difficult. See, process is simple: chanting, feasting, dancing. chant, we chant on beats, chant using instruments as well. And then what? We feast, such good prasadam, food devotees take, and dance. So much of dancing involved in the practice of Krishna consciousness. So chanting, feasting, and dancing. But it's just the application, because the mood, na, it's about that pure mood, that mood of a bit humility, which we are a bit out of touch with it, which we are a bit out of touch with it. So that is one thing. And so the whole, and it's worth the effort, sweet effort, making that constant effort. And see, it is not again something unrealistic or undeniable, because when we are generally also, when we see in society, right, boy is in love with girl or girl loves a boy, there's like constantly thinking or constantly chatting, constantly some engagement and all going on. So that, and through practice, how can we be in constantly remembrance of Krishna? And these are the promise of Krishna. Again, he says like without fail, as in no doubt, without fail, no doubt. Okay, so we can see text 6 translation purport. Otherwise, any thoughts, question, or comment, or anything you would like to add? So text 6, Krishna says, Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajanti ante kalevaram tam tam evati konteya sadatat bhava bhavita. So Diksha, you can read translation and purport. Should be on the screen now. When we can be in constant fear or constant worry, then surely we can be in constant peace as well, and we can be in constant happiness as well. And Krishna is saying, Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam. Remembrance is, where is remembrance? Where the heart is, there is remembrance. Is it not? Wherever our heart follows, wherever our attachment is, there is remembrance. So, text 6, chapter 8, what we were discussing now. We can read the purport, we didn't read the purport. Wherever there is wherever our heart is, wherever our attachment is, there is remembrance. Is there is that saying, right? Uh, where in yeah, where intentions grow, energy flow. Uh, where our intentions grow, what we are intending, that is where we will be putting our energies. Okay, Diksha, you can read translation and purport. पढ़ पाओगे क्या दीक्षा?
Yes, Bhaiya. Translation. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, O son of Kunti, thus that state he will attain without fail. Purport. The process of changing one's nature at a critical moment of death is here explained. A person who at the end of his life quits his body thinking of Krishna attains the transcendental nature of the Supreme Lord. But it is not true that a person who thinks of something other than Krishna attains the same transcendental state. This is a point we should note very carefully. How can one die in a proper state of mind? Maharaja Bharata, although a great personality, thought of a deer at and so in his next life he was transferred into the body of a deer. Although as a deer he remembered his past activities. he had to accept that, and of course, one's thought during the course of one's life accumulates to influence one's thought at the moment of death. So, so this life creates one's next life. If one in present life, if in one's present life, one lives in the mood of goodness and always think of Krishna, it is possible for one to remember Krishna at the end of one's life. It will help one to transfer to the transcendental nature of Krishna. If one is transcendentally absorbed in Krishna's service, then his next body will be transcendental, spiritual, not material. Therefore, the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare.
is the best process for successfully changing one's state of being at the end of one's life. Translation: whatever state of being once remember when he quits his body, O son of Kunti, that state attain without fail.
That state he will attain without fail. Without fail again winning, no doubt. Yam yam vapis maran bhava. And in nature there are examples, no? There are examples in nature of it. Look, keri pata hoga na, you would know keri. So, raw mango. There is one thing, raw mango, and that very same raw mango then becomes pakka mango, a ripened mango. So, keri or aam, right now we are raw. We are not pakka devotees. We are not proper devotees. No. But because we are practicing, yes, yes. We cannot say that we are not devotees as well in that sense. No. There is that faith, there is that, uh, yes, there is that emotion, there is that love. But yeah, when it comes to the standards, we are not there. We are not fully pure yet. Mm. So it's a journey. Someone who is not practicing, he wouldn't even think of pure. Say, for him, yes, I'm pure. So in society, no one would say like people would try to prove themselves to be correct, to be right, to be pure, to be good. No one would say, no, I'm not wrong, I'm not bad. No, but a devotee understands like, wow, I'm so fallen, I'm so fallen, I'm so low. And that, having said that, it's not like okay, then is to make effort to rise above altogether. So we see raw mango also, given good time and this thing environment, it can become a ripened mango. uh, when the real stage is matured stage is arrived, fructifies. So the whole practice is how can we become from conditioned state of devotee to attain a pure state of loving devotional service. And it is not something like phantasmagoria. It is not something like fairy tale story or made up or imagination. I mean, why would a 70-year-old man, Prabhupada, write Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitam? It's not like something fairy tale or made up. No. Uh, Also, see, absorption is the key. Uh, when absorption is the thing, na. So suppose when we go to watch a movie, let me know if it happens. Say, small children, boys and girls, or young adults, say boys and girls, and they watch some movie, maybe an action movie, and boy watches an action movie. He likes the way the hero fights and what he does and all. And then watching that movie, do not we try to imbibe that role? Do not we take on that role? Huh? After watching a movie 2 hour, generally like Indian movies, Bollywood and others, most of them 3 hours or a bit more or a bit less, whatever duration movie, and whichever European movie, English, whatever movie, And we watch that, and when we watch, generally we watch with absorption, focus, and we get immersed in that movie. And what happens, we play the role of that hero or that heroine, the actor and the actress, and we go through those emotions. People actually cry in the movie, the people actually become scared, and it takes them 3 days, sometimes 4 days, sometimes one day, whatever, to recover, come out of that movie. Wow, seeing the pain or emotions. And some, they cannot watch it again. Oh, it's so emotional, I cannot watch it again. So when we come out of, say, movie hall or watching movies with friends or on our own in the house, we take on that role and it stays with us. And that's just a fictional. We know it's not reality. It's just, and but there's not much relation with reality. But still, we can associate. We can relate. And what to speak then? We on same. If such a thing, if by watching a movie I can get this absorbed or influenced or my action, thought, behavior. Uh, Watching a movie, then I may think myself like, oh, I'm an actor and I walk like this. I can break walls. I can do. An actress may think, oh, dress like this, smile like this, look like this, and all. A queen actor may think like a queen, king. So if that movie we can portray that, it can touch our nature that way, it can touch our spirit that way, then this sublime purity in the practice of Krishna consciousness, definitely it will touch us. Uh, Krishna consciousness will penetrate our heart joy, with joy altogether. Just like Srila Radha Govind Maharaj in his classes, he mentions beautifully. He says, when we take a photograph, a picture of someone, now when the picture is taken, if the person is smiling, the picture comes out smiling, right? If the person is crying, picture comes out crying. So whatever state you are at that moment, that is captured and that comes out as the in the picture. Uh, Likewise, whatever state of consciousness we are carrying, if I'm carrying lust, if I'm carrying hatred, if I'm carrying so much anger or greed, that state is what we will attain, that consciousness level. And if I'm carrying love for Krishna, if I'm in remembrance of Krishna, if I'm missing Krishna, remembrance means missing Krishna. So this missing element has to be attained in life. Look at the paradox again. In society, if I'm missing my mother, say, then oh, a bit of a tragedy, a bit of a hard struggle, no? Missing. And but missing for Krishna, that's such a highest accomplishment. It's a highest feat. It's such a great uh, character if someone is able to miss Krishna. But in my conditioned state, I naturally forget Krishna. Naturally, I'm such in a lower energy, lower state. Hardly any remembrance of Krishna. This is why need to pray, need to cry out. Love is in crying. Without crying, there is no love. Without crying, there is no love. Love is in desperation. Huh? How much we are desperate of value. Okay, any thoughts, questions, or comments?
भैया
Mm-hmm.
कि महाभारत में अभिमन्यु को जो एजुकेशन थी वो कृष्णा जी ने दी थी एंड मतलब मैं वाला क्वेश्चन पूछ रही हूँ तो फिर उन्होंने उनको चक्रव्यूह तोड़ने की एजुकेशन क्यों नहीं दी मतलब उन्होंने पूरा वॉरफेयर सिखाया था उनको सारे मिलिट्री फॉर्म्स सिखाए थे काफी अच्छा योद्धा बनाया चक्रव्यूह तोड़ने का क्यों नहीं सिखाया
And can I add something to this question? So your question is Abhimanyu, who is Arjuna's who? Father or son?
सन
Arjuna's son, right? And Abhimanyu and Krishna. arranged or Krishna trained him in military affairs, right? In warfare, fighting, and military affairs, right? And in this battlefield where Arjuna is having a dialogue with Krishna, in this same battlefield, the military arrangement was there, and Abhimanyu, Arjuna's son, went into the enemies, and he was surrounded, encircled by the enemies, but he couldn't come out, you know, and he had to give up his life. So, question being that if Krishna trained him, personally trained him, arranged his training, and Krishna had affection for him, say, then why did Krishna not teach him? If Krishna taught him how to enter into that um, Chakravyuh, if Krishna trained him how to enter into that orbit of enemies, surrounded by enemies, why did not Krishna teach him, say, come out of that orbit of surrounding of enemies? Huh? Why did not Krishna arrange that? That's the question, right?
Yes.
Considering Abhimanyu was Arjuna's son, considering he was close to Krishna, attached to Krishna, affectionate
And
to
plus
Krishna.
he was matlab ki he was not
Yeah, right.
side. Matlab,
He
if
was not.
he was not on the back side.
Yes. He was moral. He was righteous, pious.
Yes.
Moral, righteous, pious is one thing. That's fine. Considering he had love for Krishna, say he had affection for Krishna. That's even beyond uh, piety or being on the good side. So, adding to this, why did Krishna not teach him or arrange for him to learn to come out of that orbit? Moreover, why did Krishna not save him in the battlefield? Why did Krishna let him die? Why did Krishna let him pass away? Can I add this also to your question?
Yes, Bhaiya, because if Abhimanyu matlab at the end of the war अगर अभिमन्यु जिंदा भी होता तो भी he could be the good ruler or
Yeah, good, very good. Yeah, because Abhimanyu was a good, pious, gentle
and might
person,
be
moral.
हाँ and might be जो द्वापर युग का जो थोड़ा सा टाइम था वो और थोड़ा लंबा हो जाता
Uh, See that Dwapar Yuga का time और Kal Yuga का कम हो जाता ना, this the age of dark age, it cannot be shrunk by some good activity or good rulership. No, it can only be shrunk by purity in chanting the holy names of Krishna. We live in a world of quarrel. We live in a world of hatred. We live in a world of hypocrisy, isn't it? We live in a world of cheating. But inside my world, inside me, at least there should be no cheating. At least there should be no quarrel. At least there should be no hatred. There should not be no hypocrisy. Huh? So this world is like this only, of two sides, good and bad. But now I get this option. Can I be always good? That option is there with me to choose being that always good. So coming to your question that why did Krishna not arrange Abhimanyu's learning skills to learn this art, how to come out of the orbit? If Abhimanyu knew how to go into orbit, he should have been taught how to come out as well, na? So I mean, see, Ishvara Ichha Baliyasi, na? Thing is, Krishna's desire. Krishna sanctioned, Krishna desired, Krishna didn't want it to be. Man, there are many things through logic we cannot understand. Applying our, see, my mind is so much conditioned mind, right? What best can my logic and all grasp or attain or understand? Na? No. So logic and all many things cannot understand. Having said that, that doesn't mean that we do not apply logic or do not apply our intelligence. But the message Krishna is giving is, look, you may apply your intelligence to sky height, to sky limit, but I can fail you even beyond that. है ना? I can confuse you. I can put cloud. I can put mystery over it even beyond that. So this is why. Best is to take shelter in the desire of Krishna. Yes, Krishna wanted it, Krishna desired it. Uh, That was Krishna's plan, Krishna's arrangement. But this is not a license for us to go, and I cannot use this as a license and go and someone's in the town and slap someone saying, oh no, no, Krishna desired this. Krishna wanted me to slap you. No, I cannot pick up a revolver and go and kill someone. Oh no, Krishna wanted me to kill you. No, this is not a license for us. So why did, because Krishna desired na? Also see, Krishna wanted Arjuna to be fully dependent on Krishna, to be fully immune, to be free of all anxiety and worry. And this is Krishna's way of working. This is Krishna's way of working. What to do? Na? And also to show us, to help us understand. Look, Arjuna, see, this is to demonstrate Arjuna after this incident. Arjuna's very own son, है ना? Very own son, who himself was becoming a father. Arjuna's son Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu's wife Uttara, she was pregnant, right? She was expecting a child, a baby. So, and Abhimanyu passed away. So after this, during the war itself and during this period, Arjuna did not complain to Krishna. He was not uh, angry with Krishna. He was not frustrated. He was not blaming Krishna. Yes, blame is the word. Even after this, look. So this is to demonstrate that Arjuna was surrendered. Still in his conditioned state, he was playing that role. He was not fully surrendered yet. And in this due course of, still the war was going on, and still in the due course, such a thing happened. And Arjuna did not blame Krishna. Where there is love, there is not blame. Where there is love, there is not blame. So this is for us to help us understand that, look, practicing Krishna consciousness and not expecting troubles to come in life. What sort of practice is that? That we do not expect thorns to come in life. There's that popular saying, quite popular. uh, I asked God for strength. What did He give me? He gave me. Anyone would like to complete? I asked God for strength. He gave me troubles to overcome. He gave me troubles to overcome. And this is how He made me strength. Uh, I asked God for peace. What does He give me? He puts me in chaotic situation. He puts me in chaotic circumstances so that I can understand peace. I can come out peaceful out of it. Uh, I asked God for what? For patience. And He puts me in a position where there is very fast moving time wise activity. How do we develop that patience? Huh? So that thing. Huh? So furthermore, something like this. Very nice mood, thought, prayer. So I I asked God for many things, and I got nothing what I wanted, nothing what I asked for, but I got everything what I needed. Yeah, I got everything what I needed because Krishna knows the highest benefit for us. What is the most right thing for us at this time, tomorrow, day after as well, throughout. What is best for us? So likewise, Krishna, what did he do with Abhimanyu was the best? Huh? He didn't see. Krishna also appeared in this world and he stayed in this world, lived in this world for 12500 years only, 125 years, 125 years. To say what? That do not become attached to this world. Do not become so attached. He didn't want Abhimanyu to become so attached. And this was further more for Arjuna to take complete further shelter of Krishna. So there are many things which we cannot. So like, why did tsunami come? Why? Krishna, bhai, this is why. So it cannot go now. We say Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, the supreme controller and sanction. Well, he's the supreme controller. He desired. Why did he desire? Well, when we become a pure devotee, we'll know the heart of Krishna purely, and then Krishna will reveal everything to us. Why did he desire? Huh? So onus, na, this responsibility, this onus is always on us. How can we actually carry on? How can we carry on? So this is for us to grow, uh, and not become complacent or like this. And for rulers and all, okay, Abhimanyu's son Parikshit Maharaj, a great devotee of Krishna, pure devotee of Krishna, he ruled and then he also gave up, mm, like this. So we cannot understand through some logic in that sense. But that doesn't mean that we do not want to understand, we do not ask, or we do not want to know. But thing is to understand that we have limit. Again, it is a sign of knowledge or strength to acknowledge that I have my limits. I have my limitation. This is knowledge. And information is what? Overconfidence. Oh, I have no limits. Ah, no, I can do it and all. And wisdom is what? That okay, I have my limits. And now wisdom is approaching one who has no limit, approaching the limitless Krishna. That's wisdom. I know I have limits. Krishna does not have limit. So I approach Krishna. I live in a loving relationship with Krishna. Not so that I become limitless. No. So that I know who is my source and I can be in love with him. And in love, then everything is provided, everything is cared for. It's just love has its own unique way of working. Krishna has his own unique style of working. That sense. So this is why Krishna, so that he wanted to leave no scope for Arjuna to take complete shelter of Krishna and to check this as well, to see this. See, to increase the glory of Arjuna. Even seeing this, Arjuna did not quit the battle. See, is it not Diksha? Did Arjuna not have a good, fair argument, reason to quit the battle, to give up fighting and go say, okay, Krishna, I'm not fighting. My son is lost. What is the point in fighting all this? No, I better go forest. So to raise Arjuna's glory, to show how glorious is Krishna's devotee, that he doesn't blame Krishna, he doesn't complain Krishna, he has full trust in Krishna, he has full faith in Krishna. Yeah. And this is for us. This is for us to experience, realize. It's not, if there is no hardship in the practice of Krishna consciousness, then we are not practicing correctly. We are not practicing properly. No. If we are practicing and we are not getting tempted or tested, yeah, two things is sure in life: temptation and test. 100%. Everyone, doesn't matter one is a devotee or a not a devotee, one who believes in God or doesn't believe in God. Test and temptation are always there. They will be there till the end of one's life. And test and temptations are there to help us grow only. Provided we have the right attitude, the right consciousness, the right company, only then. So this is why some to check maybe Arjuna, to demonstrate the beauty, the glory of Arjuna. uh, to yes, Krishna is the supreme controller. Krishna desired. Krishna wanted it. Why did he want? Well, when we are in fully in tune with the heart of Krishna, we will get to know fully as well his ways of working. Uh, So we perfect our Krishna consciousness, then Krishna will reveal us more. Then Krishna will reveal us more, and we take more faith, we take more shelter of Krishna, and we can see this is what. And this is an internal thing. Arjuna didn't experience any internal hatred, any internal, like Arjuna didn't say, "Oh Krishna, this is a breach of the contract. What sort of these things are you doing here, Krishna?" No, Arjuna accepted. This is the thing. Society teaches us to be expectation, to live in expectations. Is it not? What do you expect from this job? That expectation, expectation, expectation. Very heavy, very heavy. Krishna taught Arjuna how to live with acceptance. Arjuna accepted. Now, if such things do not come, how do we accept? Na? So, to raise Arjuna's acceptance level altogether. See, this is the glory of Krishna's devotee. Even Abhimanyu's son Parikshit Maharaj, he was cursed to be killed. He could have counteracted the curse, but he took it as a blessing of Krishna, as a notice of Krishna. That is the thing. Krishna wants us to live in this world, but not attached of this world or not be of this world. This world is like a training platform, a training ground to train ourselves, to train our mind senses, to train our consciousness, purify our consciousness, and live life of eternity. Live the real life of eternity. Does that somewhat answer your question, Diksha?
जी भैया.
So, see to the answer to your question again. I cannot say okay for this and that, but yes, Krishna is his mystery, na? And there's charm in mystery. He has his mysterious ways of working. Again, having said that, that doesn't mean that we do not try to understand, we do not apply. Na? Mahaprabhu says, na, Siddhante balya chitta na kariye alas. Iye hoite sudrida manasa. Iye hoite Krishna lage sudrida manas. So we try to understand, we try to understand. But ultimately, this is why Krishna's desire is the highest thing. So we would like to fall in the desire of Krishna. And Krishna, Arjuna won the trust of Krishna. Did he not? Arjuna, through his not retaliating, not crying, not complaining, not blaming, Arjuna won the trust of Krishna, not complaining. Okay. Any other thoughts, questions, or comments? Okay, I think I've taken enough of your time. Maybe we'll leave it here again. Apologies, a bit scattered thoughts, but yeah, I love these verses and all. So tomorrow, if you are available, we'll continue again studying these verses and see. And the next verse, it is so practical, uh, so practical. Everything is very practical. Okay, thank you very much for your kind attention and patient listening and encouragement. Hare Krishna.